5 mindset myths holding your grooming business back. Let's talk about some limiting beliefs and how they hold us back. You might be asking yourself, what are limiting beliefs? A limiting belief is a false belief that a person acquires as a result of making an incorrect conclusion about something in life. For example, a person could acquire a limiting belief about their ability to succeed as soon as they struggle or fail. Why try? I will simply fail like I always do. Limiting beliefs are toxic. They rob you of your confidence, your talents, your ability to share with others. Limiting beliefs are your mind's way of saving you in dangerous or difficult situations before you learned how to cope or overcome them. When you experience an emotionally overwhelming situation, your mind looks for a way to shield and protect you. So let's identify your mindset. When you identify your mindset, it's telling you how are those beliefs limiting your potential. Identify the feeling attached to the limiting belief. Anger, sadness, hopelessness, overwhelm? When was the first time you felt this way? Where were you? What do you remember? When you identify it, don't brush it off. Sometimes you need to embrace being uncomfortable. Don't be afraid, lean in, observe. Brian McGill said, "Whatever makes you uncomfortable is your biggest opportunity for growth." Someone once said, "An arrow can only be shot by pulling it backwards." When life is dragging you back with difficulties, it means that you're going to launch yourself into something great. So just focus and keep aiming. Let's talk about 5 mindset myths of these limiting beliefs. Myth number 1, in order to make more money, I need to do more services. Figuring out your profitability will allow you to know if you're charging enough per pet. If you keep grooming pets, but you aren't figuring out how much money you're making per hour per pet, you may not actually be making any profit. And that means they're just gonna burn out. Grooming more pets in the same amount of time is going to lead to accidents, poor quality, and terrible customer service. Let's talk about myth number 2. My client cannot afford my services. You may be saying, increase my prices? My clients will leave. They can't afford me. They flipped out over a $5 increase. Well, let's be real here. If people are going to leave you over $5, you're not doing a great job at creating good customer service and branding. The only people that leave over $5 are Walmart customers. And if that is who you want, you need to make sure that your business model fits that accordingly. You have to make sure your clients are seeing value beyond the dollar signs. When clients see value, they're not as worried about the dollar amounts. Myth number 3. If I don't help this cat or dog, they'll suffer. I know your heart's in the right place. I know you're a good, kind, compassionate person, and I genuinely honor that. I want you to remind yourself that you are not the one who neglected this pet. You are not the person watching that pet slowly become matted every day. If the client isn't educated, then yes, you need to educate them, but that doesn't mean for free. Your time costs money, and it's going to save them a lot of money in the future by you giving them proper education. If I went into my mechanic with a sizzling engine and it needed to be completely gutted, he would not charge me an oil change. He would charge me for the work he had to do. We are just as professional as those mechanics, right? I know you know. When you do groom this pet, I also want you to remember, just like the puppies at the pet store, if you give this person a break on price and you groom them, guess what? They're just gonna come back in 6 months or a year to you or another groomer with the same sob story. Sometimes by grooming them and not charging them something that hits their wallet, you're actually continuing the cycle of abuse. Do you really wanna be a part of that? I know from my own heart, I wanna educate the client, and someone who's not willing to be educated, I can't waste my emotional energy on them. Myth number 4. Charging what I'm worth means that I'm greedy. Money, 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 money. So let's be real here. If you want to groom for free, there are so many rescues and so many nonprofits that would love to have you. They would love for you on your days off to come in and take care of their pets, right? Think about all the good you could be doing for those nonprofits and rescues. That being said, you're in business to make money. Businesses need money in order to stay open. If you're not making any money, you cannot continue to help those dogs and cats. By choosing not to plan your financial future, that means that you're going to have burden onto loved ones or potentially live in poverty. Being able to age with dignity and not be forced to groom while in pain, that's the least that we deserve as pet groomers. Myth number 5. My client is the problem. Assuming your client is an asshole or she's a stuck-up bitch isn't gonna solve your problems. Let's be real here. You attracted them. You tolerated them. And you let this all happen. Why are you so shocked? Let's instead create a better marketing, branding, policies, and procedures that attract better clients that you can replace those assholes with. When you charge $65 for a Labradoodle and you charge $55 for a Shih Tzu, you're gonna get a lot of Labradoodles. Why? Because they're so goddamn cheap. And we all know what kind of person generally owns a doodle, right? If you are attracting those clients, you have to come with all of the good and all of the bad that comes from those clients. If they're not what you want, decide where you want that to actually be. So, if you're ready to change those, let's start creating a business that supports your life, not a life that supports your business.